We're rolling.
Hello everybody, welcome. We are here live from the Arctic Circle on the island of Svalbard. Actually, we are very close to a place called Spitsberg. Now, Spitsberg is the German name meaning pointy mountain. When this place was discovered by ancient explorers, they discovered that the mountains are extremely pointy. As you can see right behind me, they're not pointy at all because the mountains in the south are quite flat and plateau-like. The mountains in the north are very pointy, and this week we're going to be talking all about geology and rocks. What you're looking at right behind me is an Arctic valley, and if you can imagine back around about 360 million years ago, this valley was formed, filled to the top of the mountains with ice. Very powerful, very heavy, and very strong ice. Now, over time, that ice melts and retreats, causing this to occur, this phenomenon, this extremely huge and large, what we call a U-shaped valley, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, what's amazing about these mountains here, unlike any other mountains in the world, which are usually caused by two plates colliding and actually causing fold mountains, these mountains were caused by something called isostatic uplift, which is when ice is on top of a landmass such as this, it's extremely heavy indeed. It weighs hundreds of billions of tons. Now, as the ice retreats, the land starts to then lift up, and this is what we call isostatic uplift. Now, the land on which we're standing right now, which is in the very North Pole, used to be in the very South Pole. 600 million years ago, the land upon which I am standing right now was in Antarctica, but it drifted all the way north using something called continental drift. And as it did, it passed over mountains, deserts, forests, and wild landscapes. And the layers in the rock that you can see right behind me here are the remnants of all of those. You can see limestone, cobalt, and even sandstone as this rock has moved across the planet. Now, this week in our geography and geology lesson, we want you to have a look at your local area, your local environment. Maybe you live in a forest, maybe you live near the ocean, maybe you live near a lake. We want you to go out into your local area and do the same research that we've done here. How was your area formed? Where did it come from? Which continent do you live on? And what did the past look like? Now let's go back to ice for just a second. You see, this area was filled with ice. This was an ice cap. And if we go back around about 12,000 years ago, we were in something called an ice age. And the name of the ice age was the Pleistocene, when this whole area, 100% of the Arctic Circle, was filled to the top with ice. Now we're only looking at around about 4% of this area covered with ice. And why is ice so important? Well, there are two factors that influence the way that ice affects our lives. Number one, it acts as a huge mirror, reflecting the sun's rays and the sun's light and sending it back into the atmosphere, keeping the earth nice and cool. But number two, and we're going to get to this in a few weeks' time, ice is a home for something called phytoplankton, some of the smallest organisms on the planet, which help our habitats and our biomes sustain themselves. You see, from small organisms come larger organisms, and at the very top of this food chain, we find the big apex predators, the polar bear. And we're going to come to the polar bears in week number 6. Okay, off you go. Follow the learning sequence, have a research of your own local environment, and I will see you at the end of this lesson.